Escalating Iran-U.S. tensions. U.S. hits Iran's nuclear establishments and potential conflict looms. Istanbul, Washington, Jerusalem. The international community held its breath on Sunday, awaiting Iran's reaction following a significant military strike by the United States on key Iranian nuclear facilities. This attack, in collaboration with Israel, marks one of the most significant Western military actions against the Islamic Republic since the nation's 1979 revolution. The devastation caused by 30,000-pound U.S. bunker-buster bombs at Iran's Fordo nuclear site was evident from satellite imagery. In retaliation, Tehran vowed to defend itself unwaveringly and launched a barrage of missiles at Israel, resulting in casualties and damaged buildings in Tel Aviv. The U.S. State Department, in response, urged family members of employees to evacuate Lebanon and cautioned citizens elsewhere in the area to be vigilant and limit travel. As tensions rose, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security issued a warning about an increased threat environment within the United States. Heightened security measures were enacted in major U.S. cities, focusing on protecting religious, cultural, and diplomatic locations. So far, Iran has not acted on its more severe threats, such as targeting U.S. bases or disrupting global oil markets, but the possibility remains. In Istanbul, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi declared that all possible responses were being considered and that there would be no return to diplomacy until Iran had retaliated. Adding to the tension, Iran's Supreme Leader's advisor Ali Shamkhani hinted on social media that surprises will continue. President Donald Trump praised the strikes in a television address, calling them a spectacular military success that effectively dismantled Iran's essential nuclear enrichment sites. However, details on the extent of the damage remain limited, with contradictory reports on the impact underground. The International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, noted that off-site radiation levels remained stable following the U.S. strikes. Still, the extent of the damage, particularly underground, is yet to be fully assessed. Conflicting reports have emerged, with one senior Iranian source claiming that much of the enriched uranium at Fordo had been relocated before the attack. Following the strikes, President Trump urged Iran to refrain from any retaliation, suggesting that future responses could be even more damaging. Meanwhile, Vice President J.D. Vance clarified that the U.S. aims to hinder Iran's nuclear ambitions, not engage in a war with the country. Iran's parliament moved to close the critical Strait of Hormuz, a key passage for global oil shipments, pending approval from Iran's Supreme National Security Council. This closing could lead to a spike in global oil prices and potentially spark conflict with the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet, which maintains a presence in the Gulf to ensure the strait remains open. Experts warn that if Iran feels cornered, it might resort to non-conventional tactics like bombings or cyber attacks. Secretary of State Marco Rubio stressed that retaliation from Iran would be a grave mistake, adding that while no further military actions are planned, any further provocation could prompt a response. The UN Security Council, at Iran's request, convened to discuss the situation, with Iran urging them to condemn the U.S.'s actions. As the situation unfolds, Israel's objectives appear to go beyond neutralizing nuclear threats, with some officials suggesting a desire to see a change in Iran's leadership. However, U.S. officials emphasize that their mission is focused solely on addressing Iran's nuclear activities, not regime change. Locally, the people of Iran are living in fear of a broader conflict with the United States. Many have fled to the countryside, seeking safety from the violence. There is a palpable sense of uncertainty, as the possibility of escalated conflict weighs heavy on everyone's minds. In summary, the current situation between Iran and the U.S., with Israel's involvement, has intensified the geopolitical landscape, causing widespread concern and uncertainty around the world.